Because when I bought my house in 2009, I closed 2010 on the one in Oakville. I bought a house in Oakville in Bronte Creek.
You're probably flirting with 5.
For $499,000 from Fernbrook.
Yeah, but interest rate rise probably around 5.
I closed at 5.05, and it was the deal.
100%
of deals.
You thought you robbed the bank, bro.
Robbed it.
I talk about that all the time. Continue though.
So with that being said, who bought that East York house then at $500? Because 5 years later it was going for $750. So those people took a $250,000. They went where they went, a little bit outside, a little bit to the side, up, down, sideways. I don't care where you went, but you took a $250,000 tax-free, your personal residence, and now you took out $250,000. So now, who's at the $750,000? Guess who's buying these homes? Somebody who makes more money than you, bro.
Yeah.
It's very simple. Then they became $1 million, then 1.3. The whole point is, as this immigration comes in, whether it's migration from a couple of engineers in Calgary, whether it's a couple of engineers or architects from China, India, I don't care where you come from, you're coming in with more, a higher value proposition. The city is being elevated. We're one of the third largest tech hub in North America. What are you talking about right now?
But Simos, even in that sense, what people are having a hard time in our city just understanding now is that we're becoming like every other fucking major city in the world, that we become a renter city.
Yes.
I'm sorry. And my whole crew around me, like especially, and like Laura's crew around her in terms of the media, they're younger, and I get it. It's tougher to buy a home. That's what happens in this kind of, in any major city. It becomes a renter city. This is, for investors, it's fucking golden. Like, I love it as an investor because you know that you're going to have a steady flow of people renting out your properties.
The entitlement of home ownership in Manhattan for me does not exist.
Well, you don't even think about it.
Me today, whether I have money or not.
Yeah.
If somebody said, Simeon, you're moving to Manhattan, the first thought that comes to my head is not that I'm buying a place in Manhattan or Hong Kong or Paris or Athens or whatever, London. Who are you?
Laura, like you went to London not too long ago and you were talking about what the price per square foot for new builds were. This was like just when did you go to London?
2019.
So just pre-COVID. Yeah. And we were probably flirting here in downtown Toronto for a new build condo, price per square foot. So for the newer people, you take, the purchase price divided by what the square footage is. You get the kind of your price per square foot. On average, in Toronto, we were flirting with, at that time, I think it was about $1,100. Right around $1,100 downtown Toronto. You went to London and you were
like
showing
double
us
that or whatever.
You were like actually, I think, north of 3,500 to 4,000.
I say double, but then with the conversion too.
Right. So you were at like 4,000.
If we were to take 5 people, 5 average people off the street right now, if you were to ask them, can you go to the Golden Mile on Bloor Street and spend $10,000 at Holt Renfrew today?
Yeah.
Do you expect 1 out of 5 to say yes? I don't expect any.
No.
So spend 10 G's just on, 0.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we were to put 20 people and say, if you were moving to Manhattan tomorrow, are you buying or are you renting? I would tell you that 20 people would all say, I'm renting.
Yeah.
Okay. This is where we're going.
Yeah.
So
I actually think we're there. I think Toronto's already a renter city. Like
whether you like it.
That's a good point to bring up then is that doesn't mean you should never try to own a home.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be your principal residence. Like you can rent in the city because you want the opportunity where you work, and then you purchase properties in neighboring, like outside skirts. Like Tyler on our team did this, right?
Hallelujah.
Like he rents where he lives, but he wanted to get into the real estate market. He knew that wasn't going to be Toronto, and so he purchased rental property outside.
In London.
Tyler is so smart.
Yeah.
What Tyler did is he rented a home that's actually under rent control because of when it was built.
He has a 3 fucking bedroom in Don Mills and Lawrence,
Toronto.
pretty much.
Smarter than anyone.
He spent $1,600, $1,700. I'm sure
he'll only go up by 2% a year.
Well,
can you
it was rent freeze 2 years ago during COVID.
Can you imagine?
100%.
So he's protected from inflation, insulated from inflation.
Yeah, I like that word better.
Peanuts on rent compared to market rents.
Yeah.
And the house that he bought, the investment he made is in a growing a growing, secure market that does not impose under rent control.
Well, he bought that.
What a gangster plan.
3 years ago.
Two?
2 years ago. We went up already by about, 45 grand, 50 grand. He was just talking to us a couple of days ago, like, hey man, I think I'm speaking with the mortgage broker. I'm going to be thinking about, refinancing it. And my kind of advice, I was like, just sit tight. It's only about 45, 50 G's. Let's get it to, 100, 120. We'll refinance it so you can do something else. But you're going to say, Laura?
I think it's important that we stop being so romantic about living
Center ice.
buying where we live. Sorry.
And like owning where you rent.
And also, you have to realize it's center ice. Sorry, bro.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. It's not realistic.
Well, I like what you just said there, Lord, because I don't think enough real estate agents are ballsy enough to say it, but you don't need to own where you live. In fact, if you look at the ultra wealthy, very rare that they actually own, because I get it. Some of them are ultra wealthy because they're athletes and they're actors or whatever. But if you look at like the Silicon Valley guys and gals, they're not really owning where they live. They're just smart enough to know, like, well, why do I want that liability? Yeah, then we are saying, like, your principal residence is a liability. It costs you money every single month. Like today, I got to figure out who's going to do my shoveling of the snow, and in the summer I got to figure out.
And it gives you a lot more flexibility.
For sure.
Right? So like if your career does change and you need to move somewhere else, you're not stuck to that property. Where if you're owning a place and you don't live near there, like you own properties in Alberta, right? Like you can own properties not in your backyard.
Don't remind him. Yeah, don't remind him.
Don't remind him.
There's only one thing.
We're going back to Morocco right now.
As long as I do think, and I think you guys will agree with me, but I'm
Jas, where's your Peroni?
love to get my Peroni's here, bro. Why don't you just get another Peroni? Bobby, can you help us, buddy? I'll take another one. Laura, another one?
I'm good.
You're good? Thank you so much, Bobby. Get on in here as well when you come in here. Look at which camera does he look at? Yes, just so he knows.
He's the most beautiful
He
of
is
all of us.
actually. No, he has the best heart out of
Show
all.
that butt.
You know
Show
what it is?
that
Get in
butt.
there. Get in there.
Yeah.
Bro. Get in there. Just,
what's up,
just stay there.
what's up? Oh,
That camera there. That's the
right.
main camera. We love you, Bobby.
Thanks, Bobbert.
What I was gonna say was, and then we're gonna shift, guys, because I really want to get our thoughts on our business side of stuff, not our business side of stuff, just but what salespeople can do and entrepreneurs need to be doing in 2023, and some of the things that we learned in 2022. But really quickly is understanding that yes, owning your own home is a liability, and you don't need to own a home like where you live, but there is a massive advantage of getting into the market at least once,
For sure.
right? Because
Tying
that's how you.
yourself in.
Sorry,
Tying yourself in.
tying yourself
Yeah,
in.
because otherwise you're just going to wait, and prices are going to go up faster than your salary is going to increase. So you're
And
never
El,
going
to throw you under the bus a little bit, girl. It took you a few years to get into it, but aren't you so happy that you got into the market and then
Yes.
now you're able to take
Yeah.
advantage? Like,
Yeah,
what the
from
heck
an
did you
investor's
buy?
perspective,
What
or
did you buy, and what do you
my
think it's worth
principal
now?
residence?
Well, no, the investor's perspective.
Oh yeah, so it did take me a while. I wasn't educated on this. Like I didn't know people were just. I thought the only people who invested in real estate were wealthy people. You know what I mean? Like didn't dawn on me that like, oh, just little old me, like I can do this too. And so I purchased a pre-construction condo in 2018.
Links,
Maine
right?
and Danforth. Yeah, Links. You guys were there while I was like shaking signing for my checks because it took me forever to earn this money and now I'm just like handing it away and I was scared shitless. But you guys were like, trust me, like trust us. We've seen this happen. And I mean, that's probably gone up. I'm going to say at minimum 150.
And you had
and
a
I
lot
think
of
that's very
and you did a
conservative.
lot of work to make that money too, right? Like,
Oh, the 150?
yeah, like
I
you have to
did
do a lot
nothing
of
to
work.
do
You
it.
got to get your hands
I did
dirty. Yeah.
absolutely nothing to do it. Honestly,
nothing.
I signed the paperwork. I signed the checks. That was the work, and I haven't thought about it since.
And like last thing on this, I fucking love what you always say to people about like, and you threw a little dig to sellers, but when you talk about you did shit all to fucking get that appreciation, Alto, and me, you like
lived.
Anybody
You
who
were
owns a home, you did shit all to get all that appreciation. But yet, when the value drops maybe a little bit, just for us
You got
for a
lot
little
to
bit of
say.
time.
You got a lot to say.
You know what I mean? Like it's
Say
just
you think you deserved it or you earned it, but you didn't, and you were, so you should be happy with what you still got.